Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see about variables in Java. First we are going to see the definition of a variable. Is a named memory location which contains a value. So this variable you call it as a named memory location where you can store the value in the memory, and it will be given a name for the memory location. You call it as variable. Okay, the value of the variable can change depending upon the circumstances and problems in a program. Suppose you are going to change the value of a variable, it is allowed. Because of that you call this as variable, so it varies. So the syntax for this variable definition is you should have a data type, then you have to have a space between that, and then the variable name. So you can two examples, one with single variable, another one with multiple variables. So first you are going to see single variable. So you can see the data type integer int, then space, then you can see a variable, then semicolon. Semicolon is the statement terminator. Okay. Next is multiple variable statement. So you will have a data type float, and then you will have a variable p, then comma, then q, comma r. So these variables are separated with comma, that is nothing but the separators, then end it with semicolon, that is a statement terminator. Next you are going to see how to initialize a variable. So value assigned to a variable gets stored at the specified location in the memory. So you can see a box here. So here suppose this box is named location which has a name m, and the value 5 is stored, right? If any changes is made to the variable, the name is changed in the memory location by replacing the existing value. Suppose after initializing the variable, you are going to make a change, that is finding the square of the number and then store it into the same variable. So what happens is the value which is already stored as 5 will be replaced with the new value after this statement execution. Okay. So here the changes will be made according to the program execution. Now you are going to see about static initialization, the direct assignment of variable with the constant. You call it as static initialization. So while declaring the variable, so variable is initialized during declaration itself. That is, while writing the program itself, you will be initializing the variable. You call it as static initialization. So you are going to see some of the data types available and the declaration statement, and what are the default values used to store. So first is integer. So you will use int for integer, and then a space, then a, that is a variable, then semicolon, that is a declaration statement. And how to initialize that is a equal to 0, semicolon, that is the 0 is the default value for integer. Same like that. Next is float. You got a variable f, and you can see float is fully used, and then f equal to 0.0f. So here you can see the default value is 0.0, and since to show the difference between float and double, they are using the alphabet f at the end of the constant. So that is compulsory to use. For double, again you are using the full name double and then the variable d. So d equal to 0.0d, but using this d is optional for using a double variable. So you can just use 0.0, that is enough. But when you use a float variable, you have to use 0.0f. That is the difference between float and double. Next is character. Here you are going to take the first 4 characters of character, that is char, then variable. So the default value is open and close single quotes with a space in between. Next is string. So here you can see capital S, that is compulsory to use. So string and then variable. So here the default initialization is open and close double quotes without any space in between. Then finally you have boolean p is the variable, and you can see small b for boolean, and here the default value is always false. You have only 2 values, true or false, but the default value is false. Okay, next is dynamic initialization. The variable is assigned with the outcome of any expression or a function. The variables are initialized during runtime. Suppose you are going to do some changes in the variable during runtime, you call it as dynamic initialization. You can see some of the examples. Say first is integer, You got three variables A, B, C. Maybe the initial value will be 0 for that. Then finally, after executing this statement, the C value is changed. So that means you call it as dynamic initialization. Same like that for float, you got two different values and then a variable to store the result. Now f equal to p plus k, so the values will be added, decimal values will be added, and then it will be stored in the value f. By default, you would have given 0.0f, but after this statement, it will change the value. Next is double, you got some double value, that is integer value, and then the result will be stored in double. The reason is when you use a mathematical function like this, which will be discussed later in the videos. We will be seeing all these mathematical functions later. So it will give you the square root of the value of A, and it will be stored in D. Okay. Then next is you got a string variables, that is S1, S2, S3. You are adding S1 and S2 and then storing into S3. So what happens here is it will concatenate. That means it will join both the strings and then store it into this S3. Okay. Next is assignments. Assigning means to store constants in variables. That means you are going to store a constant value into a variable, you call it as assignment. So a symbol used is equal to acts as an assignment operator. So equal to symbol is the assignment operator used for assigning the values. The data type of variable depends upon the type of assigned constant. So we will be discussing about this topic later. So you are going to see some examples. So int m equal to 15, okay, and then char chr equal to k within single quotes, float n equal to 45.24, string str equal to within double quotes the name. So these are some of the assignments statements used. Now we are going to see some of the expressions. A set of variables, constants and arithmetical operators used together to yield a meaningful result is known as arithmetic expression. So you can see an expression here, b into b minus 4 into a into c. This part, right hand side part after equal to sign, you call it as arithmetic expression. When an arithmetic expression is assigned to an variable, then it is called as arithmetical statement. So the full set of statement including this variable and equal to, we call it as arithmetic statements. So when you execute this statement, what happens is it will execute this part, right hand side part. After executing, the result will be stored in the left hand side variable. Now you are going to see there are two types of arithmetic expression, pure and impure. You are going to see what is pure expression first. Uses all the components of the expression with the same data type. That means you will be using different variables, but all the variables are of same data type. Say you can see an example here, int a comma b. So both a and b are integers. So what happens is finally you will get the same data type as a result. So a plus b into 4. That means all these three components are integer type. The result also will be stored in an integer. Next is impure function. One or more components of an expression with different data type, we call it as impure expression. Next, you can also call it as mixed expression. That means you can have mixed data types, mixed variables. You can see one integer, one float and one double. Obviously, since you have integer, float and double, the greatest value will be stored in double. So the result also will be stored in double. So we will be discussing how it has been done in the next video. So S equal to A into F divided by D. That means all these are different variables, and also the variable according to whatever data type you are using, which will be defined here. You call this as mixed expression or impure expression. Hope you understood about this video. I think we will discuss the remaining topics in the next video. Thank you.